Hi everyone and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today what I'm going to be doing is growing some sweet peas from seed, planting them out in these root trainers here. It's February the 10th today, which is a perfect time for planting indoors. You can plant between January to March indoors, and you can also plant September to October, so you can overwinter them, which does actually tend to produce a stronger, healthier root system and therefore stronger, healthier plants. But I didn't get round to sowing in September, October, so I'm going to just sow today and they should be hopefully pretty perfect. What you can also do is you can direct sow sweet pea seeds into the ground in April, May time. Just plant them in their flowering position. Remember to leave probably about 12 to 18 inches between where you plant your seeds. If you are planting direct into the ground, things you really need to think about is you really need to prepare your soil very well beforehand. Sweet peas love good soil with loads of nutrients, so dig in some farmyard manure or compost or bloodfish and bone, because if you haven't well prepared your soil, then the chances are that the sweet peas won't grow very well. You won't end up with a lot of flowers. You won't end up with that lovely big bushy plant that we're hoping for, because it's all down to how you've prepared your soil. Another thing to think about if you are direct sowing into the ground is to watch out for mice. I mean, sort of 1 or 2 mice overnight, can easily get rid of all your seeds and all your hard work just overnight. One way to try and deter mice is to soak the seeds in liquid paraffin overnight before you sow them. This kind of masks the smell of the sweet pea seed, which means that the mice aren't going to smell it, and therefore your seeds have got more chance of surviving, and escaping mice attacks, which is what we want. But anyway, yeah, I'm growing in these root trainers here today, just because I find them really easy. I really like them. They're nice and deep, which again is great for sweet peas because they love having a nice deep seed cell so that their roots can develop and grow nice and long and straight. What you can also do, because these root trainers are pretty expensive in comparison to other sort of seed trays, I think these are about $6.99, $7.99 for the set. So they are fairly expensive, but a nice free alternative is just using these little toilet rolls, which again is really handy if, like me, you've got a couple of children that seem to go through toilet paper at a rate of knots. The silver lining is that you'll end up with lots of these and lots of free little seed cells. But anyway, as I said, I'm using these today, and you need to fill them up with a really good quality seed compost. I'm using, let's see if I can lift it up. This one here, there we go, just John Innes seed compost. That's pretty heavy. But yeah, you want a good seed compost, because like I say, all the nutrients and that in the soil are going to contribute to the plant being healthy and doing well and flowering. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is show you how I'm going to sow these sweet peas, and yeah, let's get on to that. Right, okay, the variety of sweet pea that I'm growing this year is this one here, which is called Muse, and it's by Sarah Raven, and I just love the pink and white and sort of purple colours. And also, if I'm being honest, I got them half price in the sale last year, and I love a bargain and can't resist half price seeds. And what you need to do with these is make sure the compost is moist just before you start. Mine is. I filled these up earlier today. The compost is nice and moist and perfect for them. And what you want is just a few seeds. Okay. And you need to sow them about 1 inch deep. So what I'm using is just my finger here as a guideline. I'm going to sort of press down to about there, that first little joint. And I'm going to sow 1 seed per pot. Again, you could sow more if you want. You could quite happily sow 2 seeds per pot, but I've got plenty of seeds and plenty of space, so I'm going to just do 1 per pot. What I'm hoping to do is grow these up my archway, which I've shown you in another video, and I'll probably only actually need about 8 of these plants when they're done. So I'm just going to sow them 1 per pot, and I'm going to sow about 12 today, I think, possibly 16. Let's go with 16 just in case something happens. I always like to have a few spares, and if I do end up with spares it's no problem whatsoever, because they'll be somewhere in my garden that they can go up, or I'll find a friend who wants some, so none of these are going to go to waste. But I say I'll probably use about 8 or so in my actual allotment. There we go. Get these last few in. And it really is as easy as that. Then just cover them up, put them to bed, tuck them in. There we go. And what you need to do is cover these, keep them moist, and keep them in an area that's about 15 degrees. Right, let's get the water, just give them a little water so they don't need too much. That compost is already moist. That should do it. And then yeah, the root trainers come with this lovely lid here, so I'm just going to slip that on like that. So yeah, they're all planted now. I've just got them covered, and what I'm going to do is move them to a nice warm place, about 15 degrees, and I'm going to leave them there until they germinate. And as soon as I see them, that they've started to germinate and they're starting to poke their heads out of this soil, what I'm going to do is remove the cover, and I'm going to move them somewhere cooler but nice and bright and airy. The reason for moving them somewhere cooler is that it's going to help the root system to develop rather than the actual plant to grow. And what you want at this stage is definitely the roots to be developing rather than the plant to be growing. An ideal place to put them would be a greenhouse or a cold frame, or even a shed with preferably a window or something. But what I'm going to do is, because I haven't got a greenhouse or a cold frame unfortunately, so when mine are germinated I will just take the lid off and I will probably pop them outside in my shed, which should be fine for them. And yeah, that's about it for the actual sowing part. There's plenty more that needs to be said about sweet peas, which I will do in another video once these have germinated and grown, because sweet peas are a very time-consuming plant. Not time-consuming as such, but they require a lot of care and attention to actually grow and do well, and there's a lot more that you need to do with them, such as pinching out and things like that I'll explain in a future video when I can actually show you, hopefully on these plants. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video today. It's a little bit of a beginner's guide really, but I think when you're beginning at something it's sometimes nice to just have somebody to show you, and hopefully I've managed to do that today. So thank you for watching, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you again.